Hi, everyone. This is Kim McClure, National Sales Director, and we are going to wrap up this session today on finishing out your skincare flip chart with the closing section. I apologize for the technical difficulties. The Google link just stopped working, and so hopefully we won't have any problems today, and we'll be able to wrap the whole thing up. And so where we left off, I was just going to start to show the roll-up bag. So I was on page 55 of the flip chart, and what I was saying at that point was, I was saying, like, I hope you all had fun. I know some of you here were just here to have some fun. Some of you were here to try some products, and you're interested in taking things home with you. And so would it be okay if I took a moment to just show you some of our most popular sets and how you can save money on your Mary Kay? You know, I found when people come to these appointments that they go, I don't really know what I have at home. I have a hodgepodge of different things. And so maybe this is a good time that you can just clean out your drawers and start fresh, because I've also found that most people have a lot of really old things in their bathroom and in their makeup drawers. In fact, most companies' shelf life is 2 years, that after it's open, it's not stable after 2 years. Now, you'll be glad to know that in Mary Kay, it's actually 3 years. Now, mascara is the exception to that. And mascara is, once you open it, you should throw it out every 3 to 6 months. And if it's a mascara that builds up your lashes, most of the time, most people need to replace those every 2 months. And so I want to show you my favorite thing in Mary Kay, my travel roll-up bag. Now, consultants, when you're doing this, you kind of want to love on it, like, oh, I love this. So you want to hold it like it's priceless for you. And you want to say, this travel roll-up bag is what every Mary Kay beauty consultant has. And you open it up like this, and you say, it opens up, it hangs here, and it will spin around for you. And these pockets are really nice and deep, and they're waterproof. And so that's great, because when you travel, if something breaks open in here, it's not going to ruin all of your clothes, because that's a nightmare when that happens. Each of these bags, the pockets, they come off, and it actually will pass through airport security, quart-size baggie. And it's super, super durable. And this bag can be your gift when you take home some of your Mary Kay with you tonight. So inside the first pocket, this is your this is your Time-Wise cleanser and moisturizer, your basic, like brushing your teeth. Your vitamins, like flossing your teeth. In the second pocket is your microdermabrasion. That would be like going to the dentist and getting your teeth cleaned. And then your third pocket here has eye cream plus a couple extra goodies. And the last pocket is your Pamper and Prime pocket. And so I want you to go ahead and pull out your placemat. Now, placemats vary from time to time and from unit to unit. Usually there are at least 3 major sets on a placemat. There's always, and the reason we have at least 3 is that people tend to stop at the high point. They go, oh, I don't know if I could do that. The low point, they don't want to look kind of cheap. And so they usually go for the middle price set. And so the placemat that I'm going to be talking about is what I call the rainbow placemat. But again, this changes from time to time, so you want to learn the general concept of it and not get hung up on if the placemat that your director's having you use or the placemat that's currently on our app is this exact placemat, okay? So the concept is basically the same. And so what I would say is go ahead and pull out your placemat. Okay, and these first 3 pockets are basically the ultimate miracle set. It's really kind of everything that we use today. Individually, these products would retail for, well over $255, but you get those first 3 sets, well, the first 2 pockets plus the eye cream for just $199, and you get the bag. If you price this out in a store, it would probably be well over $300 to $400. This is the best deal because it saves you the most money. It's kind of like getting your basic skincare set or your vitamins for free. And when you run out of something, you're only going to run out of 1 or 2 items at a time. When you're using a really great product, it's super concentrated, so a little goes a long, long way. Now, consultants, in your flip chart, you have a note that said the products retail individually for $256, but when you purchase them from Mary Kay Miracle Set all together instead of the individual pieces, your sets actually retail for $239, so you're not actually giving away as much as you think that you might be. Now, this is what you then say to your guests. You might be thinking, I'm not sure that I can start with the whole thing, so maybe I should start with something a little bit smaller. Maybe the basic plus the vitamins. That's the Miracle Set. That is in pocket number 1, just the Miracle Set right here. On your placemat, the Ultimate Miracle Set is your top set. Then we have the Miracle Set here, okay? And then we have the basic. And so that set, the Miracle Set, normally would be $130, but today it's on special for $99, but you don't get the bag. And that's basically like getting one of your vitamins for free. And if you're a minimalist, you're like, I'm just not going to do all of this, then you definitely want the basic, the 3-in-1 cleanser and your moisturizer, because you're thinking, I really want to take care of my skin at the most basic level. And that, with your choice of a foundation or CC cream, is $66. Now, a lot of times people want to ask, they want to know, can I use my credit card or my debit card? You absolutely can. We can do cash, check, MasterCard, Visa. I can even do husband non-awareness programs. And so we can kind of split things up, because I want you to be able to have it all right away for you. Now, there are a couple other specials that are on our placemat. And so I would just talk about whatever the other products are that are on your placemat. This one today has our Clear Proof. It has our Repair on it. Just trying to hold this up so you can see it with the glare. So we've got our Repair at $199. We do not have the roll-up bag with that. That's up to you if you want to give a roll-up bag with it or not. We've got the Clear for $45 and the Botanical Set for $58. And then underneath that, we have the Primed and Ready Set. That would be your satin hands, your satin lips, and foundation primer. And then the very bottom is we're currently doing the Skin Vicky, one of the skincare sets on our placemat, okay? So that's our current placemat that we're using right now, that I'm using right now actually in June of 2016. So what I was going to share with you is that when you're selling your products, when you're sharing the product prices, you don't want to use the word dollars. You just want to say it would normally retail for $256. It's on special for $199. So you don't need to use the word dollars when you're going through those things. Say, okay, now I want to give you just a quick little quiz. It's going to be the easiest quiz that you ever took, because I'm going to give you the answers. And you're either going to use the opinion poll that might be printed right on the placemat right here, or you're going to have them flip over their profile card. Either way works the same, but it's best if you go through and walk them through the questions, okay? So the first question is, if you could take home any of the sets that I showed you, whether it would be the Ultimate Miracle Set or the Miracle Set and the bag, or just the basic, right? So the Ultimate Miracle Set and get the bag with it, the Miracle Set or the basic, okay? Write down bag, miracle, or basic. Write down bag, miracle, or basic. Or you could say write down Ultimate, write miracle or basic, or the starter kit that you want to start your own Mary Kay business. You want to get your starter kit, and that's $100. So you might want to add that in to this placemat right here, to the words on page 57. I probably didn't really need to show you that, but you might want to add that on here to the starter kit, because that, I just realized we left out those words. So you want to do the Ultimate Miracle Set, the Miracle Set, or just the basic, or you want to start your own Mary Kay business tonight. Second, I owe you a second appointment. Remember, we've been passing that little bag of the goodies around. So I owe you a second appointment. So pass the bag again. Today we covered skincare and a little bit of color, but we need to do your more advanced color, or make sure that everything's working well for you, and maybe you want to do a spa appointment. And so you can do that second appointment with just me, or you can do it and have a few friends join you, probably from your referrals that you wrote down, and get some products for free. So would you rather do that appointment with 1 to 2 friends or 3 to 5 friends? 1 to 2 friends or 3 to 5 friends? When I say me or free, that sometimes what people will do is they'll just write just me, because it's easier. People always will choose the path of least resistance. So what I've been starting to say lately is, would you rather do that with 1 to 2 friends or with 3 to 5 friends? So you might want to adjust this on your little sheet as well, because we're constantly making little changes and adjustments to things. So 1 to 2 friends or 3 to 5 friends. Write that down on your profile card. And then number 3, as I shared earlier, I'm going through some leadership training, or I'm earning the use of a Mary Kay career car. And part of that is I'm looking for 12 women to give me their opinion on the Mary Kay opportunity. You see, what I'm doing is I'm learning how to give information about our business and how to give answers, and I really need some more practice with that. So the question I'm asking is, would you help me practice? Just by listening to some information about our business, and giving me your feedback, asking any questions you can think of, I'll be happy to give you 1 item at half off as a thank you. So if I were you, I would take like a really expensive one. So the answer that you write down here is yes. You're thinking, yes, I'll help you. I heard some great things and I'm kind of thinking I might want to hear more. The second answer would be, sure, I'll help you. I'm really not interested, but I'll help you with your training. And the third answer is, no, I'm not really interested and I don't really want to help you. And you kind of giggle, because like, really, how many people would say that? So the third answer is yes, sure, or no. Okay, now count up your tickets. Who has the most tickets? Yay, you get the gift card. Now, I'm going to give that, so don't hand them the gift card at that point of time. You say you earned the gift card, okay? And so I'll give that to you when we meet individually here in just a few minutes. Now, consultants, you could choose 2 winners if you want, okay? So you could choose 2 winners, or you could give a little door prize as like a runner-up prize. That's up to you. If it's been a really fun party, I always have extra gifts with me so that I can give away, okay? Now, who ended up with the bag of samples? Congratulations, they're all yours. And remember that if you forget to give things, you can always give a $5 gift card if you forgot to put things in your sample bag. Okay, now who's got to get out of here quickly, or who's got a babysitter? I want to have you check out first with me. And so you would pick that person. And then usually what I do is I just tell them the order. I say, why don't we just go right around the table? Because I don't want to have anybody waiting and standing in line. We do that enough, wherever we're at stores. So why don't I'll just start. Don't worry if you don't know what you want. Bring me your profile card and your placemat. Just bring everything to me. If they've got a roll-up bag, just bring that roll-up bag right with me, and we'll go over here into my little area that I have set up. And so that's the next step, is you're going to start the individual close. So let's talk about the individual close and some tips for that, okay? Memorizing it, and I'm on page 59, memorizing and knowing that it's crucial to you working full circle. And what's full circle? Full circle is selling skincare, it's getting referrals and bookings, and it's setting up appointments for people to hear about the business, for business partners, or maybe even signing them right at the table, okay? So you want to do all 3 things. If you don't, you have left behind probably $500. So if you only focus on the sale alone, you're going to get the sale, but you're not going to get all the future business that's going to come out of it. We also find that when you don't get bookings from your parties, that you only have a 50% chance of retaining that person as a customer, because The first time that she meets with you, you're just the Mary Kay girl. The second time, it's Tara, my Mary Kay consultant, or Jenna, my Mary Kay consultant, right? So now you become friends with them at the second appointment. After the table close, you're going to want to meet individually with each person away from the group, not at the table. You see, you can't ask all these same questions of people at the table. And the other thing that happens is when you're new, it gets confusing. People start saying, well, add that. How about this? Wait, I got a question. And then it's like information bombardment. So you want to make sure that you take everybody away. Sometimes people will say to you, well, we're all friends. It doesn't matter. And I'll go, no. I might overcharge you. And I don't want to overcharge anybody, you know? So even if I'm in a one room place, then I kind of take 2 chairs over in the corner. I put her back to her guests so that she can't, to the other girls, so she can't really see them. And so I'm kind of facing more the group of people. I, even in a small little apartment, I've met in people's bathrooms where I've just put the toilet lid down and I'll sit on the toilet and I'll let her stand over me again, because I want her to be feeling in a position of being more superior. So having her eyes higher than my eyes is always really important, okay? You also want to mimic her body language. So if she's sitting up straight, you want to sit up kind of straight. You know, if she's real relaxed and laid back, you want to kind of be relaxed and laid back. You also want to mirror her voice. So if her speech is very fast, you want to talk faster. If she's kind of really slow in her speech pattern, you want to talk really slow, because that helps people feel comfortable when you're mirroring them both in body language and in speech pattern. Okay, you're going to start off asking every guest the same questions, and don't skip any questions because you're kind of prejudging. The questions go in this order. They go in the order of icebreakers, then sales, then bookings, and then team building. They build one step on another. Don't switch the order up unless your customer switches it up on you. Like she sits down and goes, I want to book a party, or I want to do Mary Kay. Okay. Any of those are okay. Then you got to follow along with her. Don't go, well, wait, I can't do it that way. You know, just go ahead and take her lead at that point. Remind yourself that you're going to be courageous. Did you ever see that movie, We Bought a Zoo? They talk about having 20 seconds of insane courage. You know, and you can take 20 seconds of insane courage. It can totally change your life. And remember, when you're setting up the next appointment with people, you want to study this. You want to role play this, maybe even write it out, because when you write it out, your brain remembers it in a different place. So you writing it out in your own writing, kind of the flow of things, it's going to help you feel more confident and more prepared. And it's okay to look at your cheat sheet and say, okay, I got a little cheat sheet here to make sure I do this right, because I'm kind of new at this, okay? So there's 5 basic scenarios that could happen when you're sitting down with people. So the first one is she buys skincare and she chooses to share her second appointment with friends. The second scenario is she buys skincare, she's going to have a second appointment, but she doesn't want to invite friends. And then any referrals that she gave you right away, you can start working through those referrals. The third one is she buys skincare, but she doesn't want a second appointment. And that's okay too. Just know that you need to check in with her a little bit more, because she may kind of forget who you were, even if you have labels on your products. So you might need to reconnect with her to just make sure that she's loving everything. Check in with her maybe every month to see if she's needing anything, or tell her about your special of the month. Scenario number 4, she doesn't buy skincare, but she wants to know how she could get it for free, or she wants to host a party. And number 5 is she doesn't buy skincare and she doesn't want a second appointment. Okay, so those are your 5 scenarios. So now we're going to go to the flow chart. Okay, the flow chart looks like this. I can't tell if you can see that. So it looks like this. It's got all these arrows and everything on it. And we're going to start here with the icebreaker questions. And so when I sit down with somebody, I have my roll-up bag, and usually will open it up and kind of put it between us so that we can visually kind of look at these pockets and talk about it, okay? So I have that set between us. And the first question I'm going to say is, so did you have a good time today? And I nod my head. And I'm going to be touching my face as I'm doing this. So I'd say, so Liz, did you have fun today? Did you have a good time? And she'll say, yeah, I did. And I'll say, how does your skin feel? And I even will actually touch my face with the back of my hands because it's like monkey see, monkey do. So, and you touch it. Don't you love it? Or do you love it? And if she says at that point, well, you know, it kind of feels a little, and she doesn't have a positive adjective, at this point, you're going to stop and you're going to talk about the other different kinds of skincare that you could have her try. And so, so you know what, you would be a candidate then for our Clear Proof or for our botanicals. Or if she's like, well, yeah, but I was hoping for more of a dramatic result, then you'd be a candidate for our Repair. So at that point, you can stop and you can talk about that. She may buy it, or you can go into booking with her at that point in time. Let's set up your next appointment. I'll bring that with me. Sometimes, you guys, I actually have samples right with me of products so that I could send it home with her, okay, if she doesn't want to buy that skincare right away. And I can't blame her because I might not want to buy a skincare line if I hadn't tried it before either. So we're going to get into selling at this point. Okay, so you can say to her if she loved how her skin felt, well, what part of the Miracle Set did you like best? And then I say, you know your situation a whole lot better than I do. And so of those sets, which one do you think you'd get most excited about taking home with you today? So you know your situation a whole lot better than I do. So of those sets, which one would you get most excited about taking home with you today? And she says, well, I'd like to take the Miracle Set. And now you're going to be looking at the answers to the questions that you asked her, okay? And so you might be looking at the placemat questions, or you might be looking at the back of her profile card. But when you ask this question, you know your situation a whole lot better than I do. And so which of those sets that we went through today would you most like to take home with you today? Or which of the sets could you get most excited about taking home with you? At this point, you want to break eye contact. Do not keep staring at her. That's uncomfortable. So you want to take your sales ticket and start filling it out. Write down her name, write down, the date on there. You don't have to write her address and everything because you have that already on her profile card. But you can check to make sure you have her profile card, all that information complete. So you want to just break that eye contact because you want her to then speak and tell you what she would like. Now, sometimes this can seem a little bit uncomfortable. It can seem like eternity, actually, sometimes, because she's thinking at this point in time. So you can just be ready. Don't say a word. I always say the person who speaks next at this point buys the product, and you already have it. So you want her to go home with it and be using it and enjoying the benefits of it every day. So you can look at the comments on her profile card. You can kind of look back up at her, but usually she's going to say something. She'll be like either, well, I want it all, but I don't know how to have it all, or I'd like the Miracle Set, or I'm going to take that Ultimate Miracle, or gosh, I really don't know that I can really get a set. Like those are kind of some of the answers that you hear. Okay. So when she says whatever she wants, you're going to go ahead and start writing it up and tell her it's a great choice. You know what? That is a great choice that you have made. All of the Mary Kay products, you guys, are great. So whatever they decide they want to do, it's a great choice, right? So you can say, oh, that's great. Okay. Remember, if she's getting skincare, that you need to know and write down if it's dry to normal, combination to oily, if it's botanicals, is it Formula 1, Formula 2, Formula 3. So make sure that you write all of that down, okay? Foundation shade, make sure you write her foundation shade down as well. And then you're going to say, you're going to look at her profile card, and you're going to say, based on what you shared with me on your card, do you mind if I make a couple recommendations and share my thoughts with you? So if she had said to you, well, she wanted help with dark circle, under eye corrector, because if you're using the profile card, you can actually lift up the top section of that profile card and it will tell you what products to recommend, you guys. It's kind of like a cheat sheet. It's so cool. I know sometimes we'll just use the piece of paper that kind of gives you all the information, their name and phone number and email. There's some sheets that look like that have the referral names written right underneath it. So that works as well. And so then you can say to her, I'm going to mention a couple things, a couple products that people often like to get and they kind of forget about that they need. So are you okay on mascara? Is it more than 3 months old? Because remember, mascara shouldn't be used more than 3 to 6 months, okay? How about eye makeup remover? Or did she get her eye makeup remover or her mascara at half or for free with the Fabulous game, okay? Do you need any concealer or powder or lip gloss? You can usually keep asking questions until she says no 3 times. Okay. Now, if she says, nope, I'm done, then don't ask her any more questions about products. So you've got to listen to her cues. Okay. So, if you go to McDonald's and you order a burger, they say, do you want to get fries? Do you want a drink? Do you want to upsize it? That's called, or supersize it. That's called upselling you. So that's what we're doing here when she tells us what she wants. And then we either go to the profile card or we say to her, well, let me ask you, mention just a couple other things that people often get or forget to get when they get home. Do you need mascara or concealer, eye makeup remover, right? And so she'll go, no, I don't think so. You can ask her another question. So you can keep asking about 3 questions. But if she says, nope, I'm done. Nope, don't need anything else. Then you've got to take her clue and her cue and just stop right there and go ahead and start to total it up and say, do you want to do that check, cash, Visa, MasterCard, Discover, American Express, or do you want to do a payment plan? Now, sometimes when people are hesitating about buying, that's kind of a little tip for you that you could say, would you like to hear about my payment plan? And she will say, yes. And so I say, whatever you get, I like to do half down plus the tax on it. And then you can take the remaining balance and pay it off in a couple of weeks or maybe break it into more installments. How would that work for you? Could we help you get your skincare then? Because I really want people to go home with skincare because skincare is going to make the biggest difference for their face. Like I have people who go, I've never used skincare before in my life and I love it. Okay, so what you're going to have her go get her purse at that point in time if she didn't bring it with her. A lot of times they do. I'll say, just bring your purse and your placemat and everything that you need. Just bring that with me, or bring it with us. And if not, I send her to get her purse at that point while I'm adding it up to save time. Because you guys, this is the part of the party that is the most time consuming. A lot of times because people can't make up their mind, what they want to get all the time, but you want to keep things moving quickly for you. Okay. So you're going to add it up while she's getting that, and then you're going to take her payment. Now you're going to move into booking. Okay. And she's either going to buy a skincare set at this point, or she buys little or nothing. So let's talk about she buys a skincare set, okay? And so I'm on this page. It's hard, right there, okay? So you're going to say, I do my second appointments on Tuesdays or Saturdays. What's best for you? So you're going to look down at your calendar. Don't jump in and start talking. You're just going to look at your calendar and just kind of count 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000. And she's going to say one of 2 things. She's going to say, do I have to have a second facial? And if she says that, you say, no, I'm reading right from the sheet, you guys. No, you don't have to have one, but our products are guaranteed. And that's why we recommend a checkup. And you just smile and you pause and don't say anything else. If she doesn't want a second facial, that's fine. You don't want to create a feeling of frustration or a feeling of being pushy with her. You want this customer for life. And if she doesn't care to have a second facial, she goes, no, I really don't want to. Then you say, not a problem at all. I will check in with you. I'm going to assume your products are working fine unless you tell me otherwise, but I will check in with you to make sure and just make sure things are working well for you. Okay. And then you're going to put a note in your calendar to circle back, to kind of re-loop, to check back with her. I always love to check back with everybody, either the day after or 2 days after, to just thank them for coming and see how they're doing with their products. Okay. Just know that if you don't see her for the second appointment, you only have a 50-50 chance that she is going to rebuy from you. She may not consider you yet her consultant. Okay. Now, let's say she says, okay, yeah. She'll answer the question and she'll set the date with you. Okay. So we're going back to, I do my appointments on Tuesdays and Saturdays. What's better for you? Right? So she'll say Tuesday. Whoops. She'll say Tuesday. And I lost my link, you guys, so I can't see what Tuesdays and Saturdays, what's better for you, right? So she'll say, okay, I'm really hoping that this is working. I love technology, but I don't know if it's still recording. So I think it is because I haven't stopped it. And so let me just kind of look down here. Okay, I think I figured it out. Okay, yeah, I'm back. All right, hooray, I learned something new. See, I'm perspiring a little bit because this is new technology for me working on this. Okay, so let me get back here. So she'll say Tuesday or she'll say Saturday. And then what you want to say to her, is there any reason why, again, I'm reading right from my placemat here, is there any reason why when we get together for your follow-up that you wouldn't want to have a couple of girlfriends join you? I think we'd have a ball. And then you could get some things for free. And she'll be like, okay, great. Or she'll go, well, I don't know. I don't know who would come. And this is where the referral sheet comes in handy, because you can say, okay, well, you've got your referral sheet. You've got your fabulous sheet. Why don't we just look through your list here? I'm sure there'd be people here. And then they go, oh yeah, I get a couple girlfriends to join me. Okay. So when she says yes, then what you're going to do, your goal is to get her guest list of 10 to 15 people right there that night. Okay. So you're going to say to her, what products are you excited about getting for free at your second appointment, at your next appointment? And you want to write that down on her profile, because you're going to use that to remind her. If she's like, oh, I have to change the date, you're going to say, well, I know how much you wanted to get your, your pampering set or your Pamper and Prime set, or I know how much you wanted to get all your colors for free. So that you want to be able to bring that back to mind with her. Okay. And then what you're going to want to say to her is, reading right off your sheet again. I got a glare. That's why I'm struggling here. And so you will say to her, because I want to use the words that's right on here. Okay, well, you know what? We'll want to go ahead and get your guest list. And for you to have 5 to 8 adults there, we want to have a guest list of 15 to 20 people. So why don't you indicate on your fabulous sheet who you want to invite? And, if you want to do that while you're still here, that would be great. And maybe you want to add some other people from your cell phone that you'd like to invite. Okay. And then I will go ahead and give you one color item at half off as a thank you for getting your guest list to me either tonight or within the next 24 hours. Okay. And I'll have a little textable invite that you can text to your girlfriends, or if you prefer, I'll text them. Either way, doesn't matter. Okay. Okay. So we've got that set. Hold on one second while I'm reading a note that I had. Oh, at this point, make a note here on the flip chart on this page that you want to take a selfie with her. Okay. And what you want to say is, I'm so excited about you referring your friends and your family to me, or I'm so excited about doing your party. I really can't wait. I just can't wait. Oh, I'm sorry. I can't stop this. Let's see. What do I do? Well, we're just going to let it ring, you guys. Sorry about that. So you can say, I'm sorry, this is so annoying, I know. It's my husband's business line. That's why I can't answer it. I'm actually sitting in his office using his computer today. So you can say, you know, what I find is when I connect with people, because there's so many like telemarketers and things, that they wonder if I'm like really a real person. And so what I'd love to do is just be able to text a picture to your family and friends so they know like I'm not a robot. So let's do a quick selfie, okay? So you're going to use your phone. If you're not good at selfies, you can learn. You can have your recruiter teach you or your director will teach you, but they're really pretty easy to do once you get the hang of it. So do a selfie with her. Okay, and do it with everybody, whether they want a second appointment or they don't want a second appointment. So you want to get a selfie. So like I have a little note to myself, just as a little reminder down here, selfie. Okay, so I have that reminder. Okay, now, so we've either not booked her because she doesn't want a second appointment, or we've booked her and we're asking her to work on her guest list. Now, the last part that you're going to do with people is you're going to talk about sharing, but we have to go back to the other scenario. And the other scenario is she doesn't buy skincare. She buys a little bit or she buys nothing. Okay. And that sometimes happens with people. And you guys, that's also why you want to get people away from the table, because if somebody doesn't have a lot of money to buy things, it's really uncomfortable for them to say that in front of the whole group. And so, you know, buying is really kind of very private. And I'll just tell you my story. You know, when I was new in my neighborhood, one of my neighbors had a Christmas around the world party. It was Christmas decorating things. And you guys, my neighbors are all stay-at-home moms, and they didn't have a lot of money. And I had a lot of money. I was doing Mary Kay and I was working, you know, my full-time job when we moved into our house. And I didn't really want my neighbors to know how much money I was going to spend, because people gossip, you know, they talk, oh, I can't believe she bought all of that. Oh my gosh, you know? And so that's just another reason why you want to do a private closing. This consultant did not do a private closing. I bought one or two things that day at that party, and then I called her back to buy more products. But most people won't call you back. So you want to do the private appointment. It's so, so important. So let's say she buys a little or nothing. Now, if you're following along on this page, you're going over to this last column here, okay? And what you're going to say to her is, can I ask you a question? If you had the skincare for little or no money, would you use it? If you had the skincare for little or no money, would you use it? If she goes, well, I don't think I'm really going to get anything. If you had it for little or no money, would you use it in your you say, all you share your follow-up appointment with 2 other people besides yourself. And then you could use your hostess credit for whatever you want. How does that sound? And you're going to pull out your hostess credit sheet, or you're going to remind her that you give $100 of Mary Kay products for just $35. Or you could give her $10 of free products for each person that comes to her party who buys $25 or more of products. So if she wants her skincare set for free, then she would need to have 6 friends, because it's $66. So she had 6 friends there who each purchased $25 or more. I give her her skincare set and her foundation for free. So that's just another way of how do you look at that. A third way to do it would be 10% of her sales. And then you give 5% for each booking at her party when that holds. So that's another way of doing it. That's the traditional Mary Kay hostess credit. I probably just totally confused you. Sorry about that. So that's why I love to do $100 of products for $35, or I use $10 of free products for each person who comes that buys $25 or more of products. There's a third way to do it, and a third way to do it is to get her to have her friends together and her to take outside orders. And for her to take outside orders, double the value of whatever she wants for free. So if she wants the Miracle Set, which is $99, she would need to get $200 of outside orders, because then what's happening is she has $200 that she's collected. And so $100 of that pays for the products that are the outside orders, and the other $100 she uses to get the Miracle Set at that $99 special. Okay, so that's another way of doing it. So whatever she wants for free, tell her she gets 5 girlfriends together for you, and she takes outside orders for double the amount of whatever she wants for free. So that's another really easy way to do hostess credit with somebody who doesn't have a lot of money. Okay, and so she's going to either go for it or she's not. Okay, if she doesn't want to share her follow-up appointment with friends, here's the next scenario. So let's say she wants to have a follow-up appointment, but she doesn't want to do it with friends. I don't want you to be running all over the place doing second appointments with people. That's not a wise use of your time and your gas. So instead, I want you to be able to group those people together at your house like once a month, or bring them to your girls' night out for makeovers. So what you can say then is you can say, well, let me tell you how I handle my follow-ups. If you choose to share your appointment with a couple of friends, I'll come to your home at your convenience, or you can have it at my house or at our studio. Okay. If you choose not to share it with friends, then I bring my follow-up appointments to my success night on blank. Okay. Or you can come to my house. I do it the 3rd Saturday morning of every month. I just bring people over to my house. Either way is a ton of fun. Which would you rather do? Would you rather do it at your home or mine with a couple of friends? Okay. And so that would be your choice of what you want to do. So again, it's all scripted here, and I'm trying to stay right on script for you. So I'm kind of reading it versus kind of saying it off the cuff for you. So you're just going to follow right what's here. Okay. So now we've sold them product and we've booked their second appointment, or we haven't, one way or the other, and they think they're done at this point, but there's still one more part, and that is setting up the sharing appointment. Okay, so now we're going to this part of the flow chart here, sharing. Okay, and you're going to look at her answer to the 3rd question, where you asked her to write down yes or sure or maybe. Now, most people are going to be sures. Okay, if she's a yes, you can often sign her up right away. So if she's a yes, you'll be like, okay, well, are you just ready to get started then? And you can sign her up. Say, I see that you said yes, that you'd like to help me, that you're interested. Do you have another question right now that you want to ask me? And she says, no, I think I really want to do this. And you're like, great, well, let's just sign you up. So it's really important, if you're using your cell phone as your calculator, that you have another way to sign her up, either a tablet, or you can actually have the paper agreements and have her go ahead and fill that out right there. If you're doing the paper agreement, it's always good to find out what her mother's maiden name is. That's not on the paper agreement, but if you're going to sit down and do her agreement online later or with her, you're going to need her mother's maiden name. Okay. But most people are going to be sure. They're going to be, yeah, sure, I'll help you out. I don't think I really want to do this, but I'll help you. Okay. And so what you're going to do then is you're going to read right from here, or you're going to have it memorized. And gosh, I'm going to turn this light off here. I apologize. But the glare, now my eyes readjust to it. The glare is just kind of killing me as I'm trying to read through this. So hold on a second here. Let me kind of pull this out. Okay. So what you're going to say is, I see, because she's going to be picking up ready to go. They like grab their purse and they start to stand up. And so what you're going to say to her is, can I ask you just one more question? I see that you wrote yes, or I see that you wrote sure on your thing. For your willingness to give your opinion. Yay! You want to be like really excited, like, I see you wrote down yes, or I see you wrote down sure. Yay! Thank you so much for agreeing to help me out with this practice. I am so excited to earn my free car, or I'm so excited to become a director, or I'm so excited to earn this special prize for my family. I'm so excited to move up in my business. And your support to me is a huge part of that. It means so much to me. So if you could just sign my car poster. The car poster looks like this, you guys. Okay. The car poster says, I'm getting my free car. It comes off of my website, which is www.kimmcclureNSD.com. Currently, the password on it is DIQ in capital letters now, okay, in lowercase. So DIQ caps and then now, NOW, in lowercase. And it's all together. And you will find this there under the 20-minute fast start for new consultants. It is also going up on our app. In the same area where you're getting the flip chart from, okay? So it'll be kind of in that same area. And so you have them sign it. It's kind of a little commitment when they sign it by doing that, and say, what would be better for you? It takes about 30 minutes. Can we do it over a cup of coffee or over the phone? Like, I'll buy you one of those special coffees, or over the phone. And then whatever she says, you're right, great. And you say, you know, I'm in training, so my director is going to role play with you while I take notes. So would tomorrow be good, or the next day be better? You want to try and do it within 48 hours while they're most excited about everything for you. Okay. And so once you set the date with her, then you're going to explain what it is that you'd like her to do before you sit down to talk with her. And so you say, I'm going to text you a link as soon as I leave here. And the link is of my director, just sharing a little bit more information about the company. Okay. She shares a little bit of her story, how she came into Mary Kay, what she loves about it. And it's actually a short video that we give for people who are considering becoming consultants. And I know that you're just doing it to help me, and that's okay. But by listening to this, it'll help you to think of questions that you might want to ask me. And if you don't get a chance to listen to it or watch it, don't worry about it. It's no big deal, okay? And so what I'd love you to do, though, is watch the video through the lens of, is this something that I might ever think about doing for myself, okay? Because, you know, you just really don't know. But either way, this is so great for my training. And if you write down any questions ahead of time that you're thinking about, so my mentor could ask me, and I will bring your half price item. So what would you like to get for half price? And so I'll have that with me on that day, or I'll drop it off after we do the call with my director, okay? So that's how you close it. You just do those three things. It sounds like a lot because we've gone through and I've had to give you different scenarios of how to do it and what to say if she says this or what to say if she says that. So the booking part, I'm just turning my flashlight off on my phone here. The booking part is really the longest part of it, just because you've got to work through memorizing those different things and just kind of having those different scenarios. Once you play with it and you walk through those scenarios over and over a couple of times, you guys, it's really easy. You'll see that it just kind of flows naturally for you. So I have a couple other last minute things that I want to just make sure that I covered with you. And then I want to close with one of my favorite poems. Let's talk about booking and double booking for a second, okay? If you have booked an appointment with somebody and they're going to share it with some friends and you don't have a guest list yet from them, that appointment is likely to postpone. So it's really important that you get a guest list. So I would feel double booking is scheduling 2 appointments on the same date and time, because if you don't have a guest list from the one, it's probably not going to hold. So go ahead and put an appointment on a date that you already have an appointment holding, okay? And then you can check back with the first girl and say, hey, I have somebody who wants that date, and I told her I would check with you first. Is that date a go for you? And if you don't hear back from her, then you can say to her, since I didn't hear back from you, I went ahead and scheduled somebody else in, and I'll call you or I'll text you, I've got a couple other dates here that I can give you. What's better for you? Okay. If they both hold, then what you can do is either try to bring them both to the same place, or you can send somebody else in your place to do the appointment that you think is going to be the least profitable of the two appointments, okay? Or you could say to her, I double booked. I can't believe it. I'm so sorry. And so if you could move your appointment, I'll give you extra hostess credit on the day that we have your party, since I double booked myself. I can't believe it. I've never done that before. And really the odds are, you guys, it doesn't happen. One of the appointments usually has to postpone. So don't worry about it, okay? Let's see. What else did I want to tell you? Oh, sometimes you're going to have somebody at your party who doesn't circle anything on the yes, sure, or maybe part because she just didn't really understand it, okay? Or maybe she circled no, but you would really like to have her on your team because we get to pick the people that we want on our team. So what do you do if she says no and you want her on your team? Well, here's what I do. I say to her, you know, I see that you answered no to helping me out with my training. And I'm sure it's because you really would never think about doing Mary Kay. But you know what? I would love to just share a little bit of information with you because you could be a talent scout for me. And you never know how life might change sometime down the road. And maybe you might find yourself needing something extra in your life, some extra income or some extra flexibility. And then you'll be like, oh, you know, Kim talked to me about Mary Kay years ago. Maybe I should give her a call. And so I just don't ever want you to not know about this amazing opportunity. I don't want you to go to somebody else's party and go, well, gosh, if I would have known about this, I would have done this. Because I know I said no 19 times, you guys. And so you might say, you know, I know our national sales director, she said no 19 times. And when she finally heard about it, she was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe that I've been saying no to this. So you know what, I just really like you. And I just want to make sure that you know about this business. So could we just take maybe 15 minutes over the phone and I just tell you a little bit more about it? It would really help me with my training. And a lot of times, you guys, when I say that to people, my no's will turn into, yeah, sure, I'll help you. I didn't really understand what it was about. That's usually the reason that they answer no, or the reason that they didn't answer anything for you, okay? Let's see here. Talked about being prepared. Oh, okay. Now, what I want you to do after you do your parties is I want you to text the little opinion poll piece to your director. So you're going to either text her the back of your profile card, or you're going to text her these opinion placemat sheets, okay? So that she can help you tweak your follow-up and tweak your individual closing. Because, you know, we're all learning all the time. So go ahead and take a picture of it, of one from everybody at the party, text it to her that night or the next morning and say, these were the people's answers at my party. When's a good time that we can go over it, okay? Because she can help you become a master really quickly at these closing questions. So to close out, I want to finish out with one of my favorite poems called The Race. And so let me open it up in my tablet. Hold on a second here. I first heard this poem done by one of my great mentors who has passed away. Her name was Rena Tarbett. Rena was one of Mary Kay's best friends, and she would always close every time that she spoke with The Race. And so I want to share it with you. You can Google it so that you can have it and print it out for yourself as well. The Race says, whenever I start to hang my head in front, my downward fall is a child's race. Young boys, young men, how I remember well. Excitement, sure, but also fear. It was not hard to tell. They all lined up so full to win the race. or tie for first, or if not that, at least take second place. And fathers watched from off the side for his own, and each child hoped that he would be the one. The whistle blew, and off they went, young hearts and hopes afire. To be was each young child's desire. And one child in particular, whose dad was in the crowd, was running in the lead and thought so proud. But as he sped down the field across a shallow dip, the child who thought to win lost his step and slashed himself. His hands flew out in brace, and amid the laughter of the crowd on his face. So down he fell with lost hope. He couldn't win, not now. Embarrassed, sad, he only wished to disappear somehow. But as his dad stood up and showed his anxious face, this too the child so clearly up and win that race. He quickly rose, no damage done, behind a bit, that's all. And off he ran with makeup, store himself to catch up and to win. His mind went faster than his legs. He slipped and fell again. He wished then that he'd quit before, with only one disgrace. I'm hopeless as a runner now, I should not try to race. But in the laughing crowd, he searched and found his father's face, that steady look that said again, get up and win that race. So up he jumped to try again, 10 yards behind the last. If I'm going to gain those yards, I've got to run real fast. Exerting everything he had, regaining 8, then 10. But trying hard to catch the lead, he slipped and fell again. Defeat, a tear dropped from his eye. There is no sense in running anymore. 3 strikes, I'm out. Why try? The will to rise had disappeared. All hope had fled away. So far behind, so never go all. I've lost, so what's the use, he thought? I'll live with my disgrace. But then he thought about his dad he would have to face. Get up, Didlow, get up and take your place. You were not meant for failure here. Get up and win the race. Get up, it said, you have not lost at all, for winning is no more than this, to rise each time you fall. So up he rose to run once more, refusing, you guys, gosh, I'm so hot all of a sudden as I'm reading this. So up he rose to run once more, refusing to forfeit. He resolved that win or lose the race, he would not quit. So far behind the others now, the most he'd ever been, so he gave it all he had and ran as though to win. 3 times he'd fallen stumbling, 3 times he'd rose again, too far behind to hope to win, but he still ran on to the end. They cheered the winning runner as they crossed the line first place, head high, proud and happy, no falling, no disgrace. But when the falling youngster crossed the line, last place, the crowd gave him the greatest cheer for finishing the race. And even though he came in last with head bowed low, unproud, you would have thought that he had won the race to listen to the crowd. And to his dad, he sadly said, I did not do so well. To me, you won, his father said. You rose each time you fell. Now, when things seem dark and difficult to face, the memory of that child helps me in my race. For all of life is like that, with ups and downs and all. And all you have to do to win is rise each time you fall. And when depression and despair shout loudly in your face, another voice within me says, get up and win that race. You guys, learning to be your own boss is full of ups and downs. You know, Eleanor Roosevelt said the only way that you fail is when you quit. Don't quit. Whatever happens, don't quit. If you feel down, if you don't know what to do, reach up to your sales director. She is there to support you. I promise you that she has faced everything that you are facing. You know, people will always disappoint us, but numbers never will. So if you just get up and keep going, keep reaching up to your sales director when you're not sure what to do, she will help you win that race. And we will celebrate you crossing over the victory line. Many times in my Mary Kay career, I had great plans, and the great plans didn't all come together, but I kept on going and I kept on going. And you know, I earned my free car, and then I earned the second car, and then I earned my pink Cadillac. And when I earned my pink Cadillac, I knew that nothing could stop me. Did I go straight to national sales director? No, I didn't. But I had a glorious journey and became $1 million director and was #1 in the company for years before I became a national sales director. I've so enjoyed my journey every single step, and I want you to have it all. I want you to have whatever your heart's desire. So promise me that you will never, ever quit. And we can't wait. I can't wait to meet you in person. So until we meet again, bye-bye for now. Thank you so much for the time that you've taken to invest in yourself in this. Keep practicing. Practice this over and over and over until you get it. Call your director after every single party and talk to her about it so that you can fine-tune and you can get better. And we'll see you. Bye-bye.